Hey everyone, it's Curtis back with another video of my free trade journey. Before I get into the content of this video, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's viewed either of the or both of the last two videos, everyone that's subscribed, everyone that's left a comment and a message. I've certainly benefited from the comments and messages. I will even go into some detail of some of them that have actually helped my learning and helped make me make better decisions in terms of how I approach trading. But also I've received a lot of messages of people that have benefited themselves. So it's a two-way learning street, and I'm grateful to all of those that have commented and messaged. And so I will definitely try and keep these videos going as long as they provide value for you guys. In the last video, I demonstrated my modified dollar cost averaging approach. So in effect, that approach was me demonstrating with my 10 stocks how I apportion my funds between the 10 stocks, what indications I look for. So the ones that have dropped the most, giving more of the funds towards, and the ones that have dropped the least, giving less of the funds towards. What you saw last week is that sentiment was around 19% in the red. Because I put more funds in there, it's now averaged down to be about 3.36% in the red. So effectively, once that hopefully goes back into the green, it was a better decision then to put more money into, say, a Taylor Wimpey, which was already in the green. Man Group was in the red at around 1%, and now that's sort of grown to about 4.64%. I want to give a shout out to GL196 in the community that sort of enlightened me that because Man Group is not just one fund, but it's a range of funds, because they invest into a range of funds. The volatility and the performance can be affected by a variety of factors, and so it is a constant trend that I see with Man Group that it seems to be performing a lot lower than the rest of the stocks. So if after the 6-month period I'm looking for a candidate to swap out, at the moment Man Group seems like that candidate that I would effectively swap out. But I want to give it 6 months, maybe even 9 months to breathe and give it an opportunity. But at the same time, there is also an opportunity cost in another stock that I could be investing in, with less volatility and less factors that is affecting the performance. So it's something I need to evaluate as time goes on. But no, thank you to GL196 for giving me that information. In terms of my overall portfolio performance, it's about a 0.2% loss from what it was last week when I actually made those investments. So again, it's basically maintained or stayed the same. It was actually in profit quite a bit a few days ago. But what I've seen from Friday the 8th of May is that there's been a considerable drop in all of my stocks, even the ones that have performed really well. From the information that I've sort of tried to deduce and try to learn from online, etc., is that it seems to be as a result of uninspiring Chinese trade figures, which have been reflected not only in the Asian stock markets, but also in the US stock market. And it seems to be echoed in the UK stock market on Friday as well. So it's nothing for me to considerably worry about, especially if it's something that's affecting all markets as opposed to one or two individual stock performance that's dropping based off their own company performance, etc. So I will monitor the progress. If you guys look at your stocks for Friday, you might see a similar trend as well. So let me know if you do. But again, it's not something I'm going to panic about or try to sell or make any sort of rash decisions based off that. The only stock I invested more in the last video was Barclays, because I was under the impression that their ex-dividend date was coming in at some point in March. What I was informed by Saf in the community, so shout out to Saf, is that their ex-dividend date was actually the 28th of February. And luckily I got my shares in. That's the day I actually recorded the video and actually made that investment. So those additional 71 shares that you can see here, I should benefit from getting a dividend payment based off those shares, as well as the holdings I had prior to that as well. So thank you, Saf, for sort of keeping me alert to that and make it. I think the key takeaway from me is that I might look at when ex-dividend dates are coming and are forecasted, but I need to sort of keep monitoring just to know exactly when they're declared and make the right decisions based off that. To keep the conversation on dividends going, that's what I wanted to sort of refer and talk about today. So I've got 5 stocks whose ex-dividend dates have been declared. Basically, when you have a stock that's an income stock or a stock that actually pays an income, it might be a growth stock that also pays an income, they will forecast when the dividend date is due to sort of be paid. And that's where I based Barclays off originally. But once they're declared, then that's the definitive date that if you have all of your shares purchased by, you will benefit from a dividend payment. Now that date is called the ex-dividend date. So I've got 5 stocks being Sentiment, Man Group, Lloyds, Taylor Wimpey and Barrett that have all declared their ex-dividend dates within April, at some point between the 4th and sort of the 25th of April, I think is the range. Now, what that means for me is that I may try and add more funds so that I can benefit from a larger dividend payout. But I will monitor the situation over the next couple of weeks, see if any stocks drop considerably and I can get them at a cheaper price. And then obviously also benefit from the incremental dividend payout as well. If I was just to maintain my current run rate, at the moment I'm looking at about a 2.7% return on those 5 stocks, which I don't think is too bad. I think it's more than what we're getting in cash ISAs and everyday savers accounts with our current banks and builder societies. So 2.7% is something I'm never going to turn my head at. What I will say actually is that, you know, with stocks that pay a dividend, you will get a final dividend payment. You'll also get potentially an interim dividend payment, and in some instances you might get a special dividend payment. So considering that that's 2.7% just on the final dividend payment on only 5 stocks, if I was to get a final, a special and an interim, or let's say if I was to get an interim and a final for all 10 stocks, then that's 20 dividend payments throughout the course of the year. And if I was to also get a special, that won't happen on every stock, but that might be, let's say, another 5 stocks. So that could be about 25 incremental payments throughout the course of the year. So I've worked out that actually it's about 2.7 now just because of those 5 stocks, but overall it probably could be around the 7% mark, which again is something quite favorable, which I wouldn't look at. Now, income isn't my objective. Well, let me clarify. Income isn't my primary objective. My primary objective is growth, and these are growth stocks. They just happen to be growth stocks that pay a dividend, which basically means I can benefit from incremental payments throughout the course of the year, as well as hopefully seeing the share price rise considerably, and at the point of selling, making a decent, 50% or more return, which is what I'm looking at over the 1 to 3 year period. A question that I've been asked on multiple occasions is, will I invest in US stocks? So the answer is an unequivocal yes. With Freetrade, I will invest in US stocks. I'm simply waiting for the feature that allows you to have multiple accounts, so I can have my UK stocks within this investment ISA and my US stocks as a separate non-ISA account. The reason why I want to do that is because, there's multiple reasons. So one, I want to keep this portfolio of stocks and this modified dollar cost averaging approach, which I may not copy over to the US stocks, roll in separately. And because ISAs have a specific allowance, with US stocks, the volatility and the volume, their prices change quite considerably. And what I may have to do with US stocks is buy and sell more frequently, as opposed to just buy and hold. And because of that, I don't want to kind of keep eating into my ISA allowance by making those trades effectively. So I want to have an account that doesn't have an allowance per se, that means I don't have to sort of worry about eating into my ISA allowance on that standpoint. Also, because of the foreign exchange costs and those other costs, I might have to do more instant orders. And obviously, because of the foreign exchange costs as well, I don't want that to eat into the ISA allowance. I haven't worked out whether they actually will, but they may eat into the ISA allowance. So again, I'd rather just keep that separate and keep that running smoothly. So once Freetrade launches multiple accounts on the platform, I will be doing my research again just to confirm the US stocks that I will start with. and doing updates on both this UK portfolio and also the US portfolio. What I'm really excited to see is the introduction of Chinese stocks. I don't know if a definitive date or that's even been agreed is going to launch on the Freetrade platform anytime soon, but what I've done sort of offline, outside of the application, is monitor Chinese stocks, monitor prices that I would have entered at, and what my P&L would be looking at certain defined periods of time. And I simply just do that on a spreadsheet. And I've seen quite a considerable amount of growth that I could have made with Chinese stocks. So I think I would love to see Chinese stocks introduced on the free trade platform, hopefully within the next couple of months. I know they've got a lot of plans anyway. And yeah, that's something that I'm sort of incredibly excited to see. That's all I really wanted to cover off today. Effectively, my portfolio, as you can see, is still about 8% profit overall. My dividends at the moment is 0.1% profit because CYBG gave me a small dividend about a month ago. And hopefully that will increase to about the 2.7, 2.8% mark when the next round of dividend, the next round of stocks start to pay their dividend. And yeah, I'll just keep this portfolio moving as hopefully in the right direction. Now, you may have seen on the channel there are some other videos. So at the moment you can see there's an animated series that sort of discuss different aspects of the stock market in a sort of really clear, simple and digestible fashion, using animation as the vehicle to sort of communicate that message. Definitely have a look at some of those videos, leave a like, comment and subscribe if you find those videos beneficial. I've got about another 50 that's sort of written and in the pipeline to be produced. So I will be producing those videos. And it's going to cover a lot of topics around the stock market. I've sort of just gone on asset classes as a sort of entry level point, but it will get deeper into the stock market, so it might benefit really novice investors and maybe ones that are not so novice. I mean, I'm still novice to be fair, so but anyone maybe can benefit from it. So have a look when they come out. I'm also looking and considering doing a day trading video or series of videos. As I mentioned in the first video, I'm an avid day trader. I've been day trading for about the last 18 months. So I look at things like RSI, MACD, EMA, VWAP. I look at charts and patterns and specific patterns and try to get in at certain points and sell at certain points. When I first started day trading, I lost quite a bit of money. And I was quite disheartened at the amount of losses, but because I didn't want to just allow myself to lose money, and I'm a little bit what's the word I'm looking for, stubborn, I guess. I just needed to learn the day trading world as much as possible and try to recover my losses. My first objective was just to recover everything that I lost, which I managed to do. And now I've sort of been in profit ever since for sort of continuously for the last year. I understand there's a lot of critics when it comes to day trading about the validity of it, and I do actually empathize and understand why it's critiqued. I just wanted to communicate how I day trade and how I've made my profits, and maybe that might encourage others to sort of see that as an opportunity to earn another revenue stream. So if that's something you think you're going to be interested in, leave a comment, let me know, drop me a message or whatever, and I'll try to start producing those videos. I think they'll be a little bit difficult to produce just because creating live day trading videos I think is going to be a little bit difficult. Also, sometimes when I'm making a loss, I then swing the trade so that I can try and regain that money back over the next 2, 3, 4 days, which obviously I can't do a 3-day video, etc. So I will try work out how I can make those videos meaningful. It might just be something I report on after a trade is closed. But yeah, leave a comment and let me know if that's something you're interested in, and I will try to start producing those videos in the near future. But if there are any other type of investment videos or news or announcement videos or whatever you might want me to produce, definitely let me know. I know there's a lot of stuff already on YouTube. I just want to keep the content that I produce here sort of real, sort of honest, as possible. No clickbait, make £1 million with in 3 seconds by trading JST, whatever. Like, I haven't got time to do any of those type of videos, to be honest. So I wanna do meaningful videos that actually genuinely help people grow their portfolio. So let me know if you've got any ideas, and I'll do my best to sort of accommodate. But again, thank you to everyone that's been watching. Thank you to everyone that's been subscribing. Thank you to everyone that's been sharing the videos and commenting and messaging. It's been extremely appreciated. And I'll keep on my part trying to produce these videos and hopefully benefit you guys as well as it's benefiting myself. So good luck with your portfolios. Good luck with your goals and objectives. I hope they get met. And I will speak to you maybe in the next week or so, when hopefully I should see a bigger profit or be more in the green. Hopefully, we shall see. So good luck, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.